I really don't want to do it God's way. I'd rather do it my way. How many of you have ever said that? Cain actually offered an offering in a way that was different than what God had asked him to do. It was not a faith offering, and so God rejected it. And instead of being angry with God, Cain was angry with Abel because he showed him up. You ever been angry at somebody because they did the right thing? And so God is saying to Cain, because he sees his heart, he knows that trouble's on the way for Cain. And so God speaks to him in verse 7. He says, if you do well, if you do it the way that I've prescribed it, will you not be accepted? The way to acceptance with God is not to do your way, but it's rather to do it God's way. But he says, and if you do not do well, or do it your own way, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it. And I think it's important for us to understand this idea of contrary to you. So God created us to experience his love and to be able to live out our lives within the boundaries of his love, and that brings glory and honor to him. And he wants us to live in the way he created us, to be holy and blameless before him, to walk in his ways, to honor God, to love our neighbor as ourselves, and to also love ourselves by living within these boundaries of love, that we don't demean ourselves. And so God has this plan for us because he knows that if we live in that way, then we will experience not only a deep sense of love for him, but relationship that translates into blessing and reward and grace and peace, and everything that comes with that is magnified in our life if we will just walk with him in the way he described us. And so what Paul is saying here is that when we live outside of God's plan and purpose for our life, we're not only living in contrary to what God wants, but we're living an unauthentic life. We're living outside of what God created us for. We're living in falsehood. We're living in pain, and we're living in loss, and we're not living to the potential of which he created us.